Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager 6 stream. My name is Adam. I'm the community manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and not pictured on the screen, is FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
And we are back with Wild Thing 2020-2021 Minnesota Wild season, staying alive for the time being. Jeff, it is January 4th, 2021. We have made a huge trade in our last episode. We picked up somebody from your beloved Vancouver Canucks, and we're currently in the midst of looking at another addition. Before we started the stream, I started looking at possible upcoming free agents. I was looking for a defenseman because you talked about us needing maybe a more defensive defenseman. The name that popped out to me was Jeff Petrie of the Montreal Canadiens. So I started messing around with an offer, and the offer I came up with that our scout says is very likely they would accept would be Nick Seeler, Brandon Duheim, both on 1-year deals left. Seeler will definitely be a free agent at the end of the year, and throwing in a 7th-round pick seems to make it that they will probably accept it for Petrie, who's on a $4 million contract, which we can afford. But Jeff, there's something new because we are both on a brand new build of Franchise Hockey Manager 6 here that I know you want to talk about. And so if you don't mind repeating.
Yeah, we've usual warning first, this is a test build, so you may see some weird stuff as we're trying new things, but we've added sort of a limited version of retained salary to this. It mostly works like the real NHL does, although there's a few things in there involved, like the specific restrictions about using it that we couldn't implement exactly. It would have required some big database changes that we don't want to do as an update. That's something that's more for a completely new version of the game. We're going to have to, so we can test it safely over the summer. But right now you can see where Adam is pointing. You can opt to retain part of a player's salary. So looking at the trade he's doing right now, the Canadians, if we wanted them to keep some of Petrie's cap hit, you could say set that to 25%. And instead of having us taking on the $4 million cap hit for the rest of the year, it would only be $3 million. Because they'd be holding on to that 1 million.
Yeah, which might help if you're trying to get for stay at the floor or trying to help a team fit something under the salary cap too, right? Which is important.
Yeah, but although that's not a big concern for us right now because we're in pretty good shape cap wise. So
yeah, so we're not really worried about it. But
do it.
It's something we know people have been asking about, and it's something we've been, you've been tossing out ideas how to make sure this works. And so we've been working on it.
Yeah. So as we said, we're still in the middle of testing it. So if we do something with it in this game, we may wind up getting weird results. But
yeah. So we're going to offer this trade.
So far, so good as far as testing has gone.
Yeah, we're going to offer this trade because, well, really, there's no point not to. Basically, if we go back to our job security here, you can see we're down to 22. It's pretty low for fan happiness. Our job security with our owner is just a little above 50%. So it's a bit of a rough ride right now. We play Colorado and Arizona. Colorado's the number 4 team, and Arizona's the number 9. And basically, both of our goalies are hot, but nobody's really winning games. So that's unfortunate. We're going to put Holtby in and just see kind of what happens here. And, well, he pulls off a win. We win a game against Colorado, 4-3. All right. Yeah, not too much to say. Gotta like when we actually win a game for once. That's pretty interesting. P-Wog saying we're going to get fired and Babcock's going to get hired in our place. Crazier things have happened, P-Wog. It definitely is something that easily could. We are comfortably in last place. I mean, we are 11 points behind.
A good margin, yeah.
In our division and 8 points behind Edmonton.
So basically just trying not to get fired this year. So I don't think we should be probably, dumping too much at the trading deadline, even though we want to pick up picks, because that may, if we go into a prolonged losing streak with this group, that may be it for us.
Yeah. Taking a quick look. Going to put Dubnyk in for the second of the back-to-back. And send it out. And he actually picks up a win. Wow, we have back-to-back wins. 5-2 versus Arizona. That's surprising, to say the least.
I'm sure helps that you stole Pedersen from the Canucks. But
Well, he gave us a little bit more depth there. I mean, he pushed Lafreniere down to second center and helping him develop a little bit more. So that gives us a kind of strong 1-2 punch. Again, we gave up a ton for him, so don't feel too bad. And that ended up being a net zero trade because everybody was happy and that we got him, but they were sad that we traded away 2 first-round picks. So it'd be nice if we could figure out a way to get back into the first round, but which we'll try to do if we survive.
And we should also mention that we did renew his contract, so
Yeah.
paying him $6 million next year for the next couple of seasons.
Yeah, so that's not too bad.
And that will eat a little bit of our cap room, but there's still plenty of it.
P-Wog says cheating again. P-Wog, I have never cheated once, and we paid a lot for him. Again, 2 first-round picks.
Mysteriously seem to keep getting the first overall pick. Total coincidence, I'm sure.
Well, no, that Peterson trade though, we gave up 2 first-rounders.
Just show you two first rounders.
Hyman and the rights to Lucas Rubin, who was a late round draft pick, and Vladislav
Firstov, who was our second rounder last year. So a lot.
Yeah, we gave up a ton. But if it pays off, it's worth it. And that really strengthens us down the middle. P-Wog says...
Yeah, pushes Eriksson Ek down to the third line. And
yeah, okay.
We got Ryan Donato down there too, so we're very solid center now.
Well, here we go. Babcock just gets fired by Toronto, and they hired Jared Bednar as their coach, who apparently was let go by Colorado. Okay, Montreal has agreed to our trade, so I think we basically say yes to this, right? Like, there's no reason not to.
We really need the extra defense, and we've got Joel Edmondson, but he's started to decline pretty severely.
Well, we picked him up
we
late, so
let him walk as a free agent at the end of this season, I would think.
Oh, absolutely. We signed him just on a 1-year deal. We had to get some cap, so we added him at $4.5 million to sit on our bench. So Petrie is in, which means Brad Hunt is coming out. And
some interesting expansion news today in the real NHL.
Well, I heard that's
I guess it's
maybe
still technically
not
a rumor at this point.
Yeah. Okay, so
you don't want to name the team the Kraken?
If you recall, I did a Seattle expansion.
You did,
which was called the Kraken quite some time ago. Okay, so we sent Chris Thorburn down to the minors because he's only 1 star anyways, and it's not like we were going to play him, which leaves us with Hunt and Edmondson on the bench and Sokolov still riding the pine. Okay, so by putting in Petrie, he comes in on... he's playing left side. Well, that's not a... Can he play left side? 14. He's not bad then. Yeah.
That'll develop reasonably quickly.
Playing on the... So do you like this? Yossi, Dumba, Menel, Barry, Petrie, Spurgeon? Or should we... Actually, I should probably move Petrie up and Menel down.
Yeah, I wouldn't put Petrie any higher than the second pair, though.
No, I don't. We're not knocking Roman Yossi out. Although I did see Matt Dumba apparently is getting looked at possibly. P-Wog's asking what the news is. The rumor is that they are in fact going to call them the Kraken in Seattle.
Seattle Kraken, yeah.
But they've also just said that that's not true, so it's hard to know for sure.
Well, they said that they're looking at other names. They kind of got that out in a hurry, so kind of smelled like maybe somebody let the cat out of the bag, and then they're trying to avoid giving away sooner than they wanted to.
I mean, it was basically one of the names people originally thought.
Yeah,
Petrie
like
wants
it too. So,
Other than you know, uh, boy, there were some things that came out after that. It's like this is probably not a great idea for many reasons. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. For instance, they said how long until the arena gets nicknamed the Crack House? And I'm like, whew, well, oh boy, we got thumped here by Arizona. So after we beat Arizona, we get absolutely thumped 7-4 loss. Ouch. How did Petrie do in his
I'm
first
just
game?
looking forward to Seattle getting a team because it'll make the Canucks affordable to see again. You just drive
Okay,
down there instead of Vancouver.
Petrie played well. Ooh, Marcus Foligno, 32 defensive game rating. Joel Harrison Eck, 33 defensive game rating.
Yeah, Felino's just having a terrible year. He just had, what, I think 4 points so far, halfway through the season.
Yeah.
So he may be pretty close to done.
So that's got to be one of the things I'm sure Seattle is like debating for the names. I still don't actually mind the Sockeye.
Yeah, but apparently there's some hockey-based romance novel, whatever the hell that is, that's uses the name Seattle Sockeyes, and the author copyrighted it, and so they wind up having to pay her. So
Interesting. Well, then they should go back to the Seattle. Well, I don't really like the Seattle Totems either.
yeah, it's good historical name.
Yeah. I Bigfoot Country. There you go. Just don't even call them Seattle. Just call them Bigfoot Country.
Seattle Sasquatch. Sasquatches. Sasquatchi? Not sure what the plural is.
Uh, Sasquatch is, I would assume.
Sam Squanches.
We're getting way too technical here. We need what's the name for
Okay.
the zoo cryptologist or something like that?
Cryptozoologists.
Sorry, I missed that.
Cryptozoologists.
Cryptozoologist. Okay, I was closed.
You're gonna take Dumb off the trade block. I don't think there's any point to having him on
Well,
there anymore.
if we get a really good offer,
Yeah.
game versus San Jose. All right, we'll put Dubnik back in because why not? And he actually picks up the win, 5-1. Dubnik has been on fire for us. Apparently, bringing in Holtby has brought out the best in him. And Jeff Petrie improves
Yeah,
on
being
defense.
in the last year of his contract, and
Gudu says, when were they planning on revealing the name? They had talked about revealing the
yeah,
name around the All-Star game, but that didn't happen.
but yeah, I mean the team's not gonna start playing till 21, 22, so there's plenty of time to do it.
My guess would be at the draft at this point.
Yeah. Although on the other hand, the sooner you get the team named and the
Start selling
jerseys and other
merchandise.
stuff out, the sooner you can start making money. Yeah.
But that's why, to me, the draft kind of makes sense. You can start building that hype. But you don't want to announce it too early either. Like, it's such a delicate balance.
Yeah, I'm looking at our stats for the season. We just got no secondary scoring at all.
No, it's been terrible. Playing against Washington. Do we leave Holtby in or do we put in Dubnik again?
Hope
No.
he's getting a little better. Maybe we should stick with him because we've got him for 2 more years after this one, where Dubnik is probably going to leave.
Oh, and we lost because we did that.
Might not even be a bad idea to put Dubnik on the trading block because
I think if we do that, we're going to get a hit from our
no
owner.
trade clause.
Well, we'll get a hit from our owner if we trade him away, which might destroy us for the year.
Yeah, fans are pretty unhappy already. That's going to send it pretty low.
Within 7 points of Chicago now. And only 6 points away from the Leafs not being in last. Anaheim and St. Louis. Stefan Cronwell for Nick Ritchie. That is a swap. All right, we'll put Dubnyk in versus the Leafs. Dubnyk. And he actually wins it. 4-2. Excuse me. And Matt Dumba just got hurt. Day to day. Now we're down to 4 points from not being in last place. I can't remember if we looked to see what Dubnyk wanted for next year. But we did have some guys coming up. But we should probably talk to Dubnyk.
Yeah, we do have a couple of good goalie prospects, so it's not really imperative that we keep them around. Oh, wow, he's asking, I'm just trying to mind, he wants $6.5 million for 2 years, which is like within 100,000 of what Hope is making.
Yeah, 6.5. Yeah, we just can't do that.
$13 million is going to be a lot to spend on a 2-goalie system for 2 more years.
Okay, Matt Dumba has a second-degree oblique strain. He's game unavailable day to day. So we're going to take Dumba. We're going to replace him with Petrie. And then Dumba is going to get replaced with Brad Hunt. No, yeah. And Hunt will just slide onto that second pair. Actually, we'll just switch Mental up for now. And game versus St. Louis. Well, you know what? He's been playing so well. Let's give Dubnyk this game, too. And he pulls off the win. 2-1 win. Brad Hunt comes in and gets a goal. Like it. Oh, man, we're cruising up those standings. Still 4 points back at Toronto. But we're only 5 points back at Chicago for second last in our division. So you're saying?
We started out 13 back, 13 back in the division, 10 back in the conference and league.
Yeah, so but I mean, we're winning some games.
Probably just in time.
Game versus Buffalo. I guess I got to start Dubnyk again. He's won 2 straight. And loses in overtime, 2-1. Sorry, loses in a shootout. Oh boy, that's a long shootout too. 6 rounds. Wow, Jack Eichel was the 6th shooter. They pushed him way back. All right. Well, we still got a point, I guess. Take what we can. And all right. Dubnyk has pushed his way up to number 7 in save percentage in the league. 929 save percentage. Old friend Anthony Stolarz is on waivers. Game versus Montreal. All right, we'll let Holtby have this one, see what happens. And he loses. We get shut out. Because of course we do. Question in the chat for you, Jeff.
Can trades get rejected then specifically because of the percentage of retained salary on offer? And will we get feedback about the trade partner not wanting to retain salary? No, there's not going to be specific feedback about whether or not they have a problem with the retained salary. The way it works is they just, in any trade, the AI assigns value to the player based on how much, the overall skill level, probably overall ability level and potential level primarily, but that can get adjusted due to the amount of salary or cap hit he has and the length of the contract remaining. So if it's a player's really cheap compared to his ability, that can increase the value of the player, or if he's got a bad contract, it can decrease the value. So the way the retention works internally is it'll raise or lower that cap hit, and it'll change the way the AI evaluates value for that player. So if you've got a guy with a bad contract, and you're trying to trade him away, and you'll say you'll retain half that contract's value, he may become viable then as part of a trade where before nobody would touch him. Like if that may be something we want to try with Spurgeon at the trading deadline, if we can, because I don't think we're going to get many takers unloading that 7-year, $7.5 million contract.
What?
But if we eat half of it, it gets into a more reasonable range for other teams to take on.
All right, we can try doing something here shortly. Or would you rather wait?
Coming up, maybe wait until the deadline. Because he's still on the trading block, there's an off chance we may get an offer before then. And if we get an offer for him, then we know the team wants him, and we can probably.
While you were talking there, we looked at the All-Stars, and we actually had 2 All-Stars this year, which is maybe for the first time in our stream
Pedersen,
history.
I'm assuming, and who, Josie?
Yeah, Yossi was the other one. Oh, apparently Alex Lafreniere was hurt. All right, good thing we had this break. Hi, Brian. Thanks for coming out. We're not fired yet, so we're celebrating. Matt Dumba is close to returning.
Won a few games.
Hey, we've survived the month. I mean, that's big for us. And scouting reports. All right. I don't know. I felt very weird since the Jets have been on a break for so long now.
Is it their off week?
Yeah, they're back.
On top of the All-Star break?
Yeah, they're back Friday. So I've been just not sure what to do with myself. There hasn't been a lot of hockey I've watched.
Yeah, you got the Wheat Kings.
Yeah, and the Ice. Actually, it's what was I going to say? Well, one of the nice things that they're doing at Bell MTS Place is they've announced is they're not dropping ticket prices for next year, but they're only upping them by 1%. And then they're announced that they're dropping the price on 5 of their most popular concession things by 30%. So that's actually fairly nice.
Is one of those popular concession things beer?
It is, yes. So it's going from like $9 down to $7 and change.
Yeah, that's actually very reasonable.
Yeah, well, I said one of the things I get is a bottle of water. Usually they were charging $5 for it. Now they're going to charge $3.50. So
Yeah.
that's
I got my credit card bill for my vacation trip down in Florida
fun.
a few weeks ago, and with so all the stuff that I'd been paying in U.S. dollars converted to Canadian. I think I just it was what was it? I one day went to see the new Star Wars thing at Disney World, and just stopped in to get a beer and a pretzel, and me and the buddy I was with, and I think it wound up costing me something like 65 total Canadian.
Yeah, you don't realize how much things are when you're until you do in the converting, and also you're like, oh boy, that was a lot more money than I thought I was spending.
Yep.
Okay. So both Doomnik and Holtby
Ice are actually
declined.
having a pretty good year in WHL. I didn't
Yeah,
notice that.
yeah, they've been improving a bit. Well, all the guys they have brought in have helped. I mean, that team was bare
Yeah,
bottoms,
it
and
hasn't done much for Kelowna. We're still sitting third in the BC division. We're hosting the Memorial Cup this year, so that's going to got the potential to be a little bit embarrassing.
well, I just mean for the fact like they've hit on some of even like their import prospects have been really well. Like that Tepley for Chicago, who's playing with them. He's been very, very good player.
Yeah, point a game this year, pretty good for his first season in the league.
Yeah, and even getting Peyton Krebs back has been a big boost for the Ice.
Well, yeah, for sure.
And I mean, that team's only going to get better in the next couple of years as Geeky and uh,
That's a boy.
yes, thank you. I was drawing a complete blank. I was going to say Carter, but I'm like, no, that's the brother. Board confidence update. Craig Leopold thinks the season's been disappointing. Last few weeks, the team has played well. It'd be great to maintain this progress. We went 6-3-1. From a long-term perspective, Craig Leopold is concerned about your work. Thanks, boss.
Yeah, Craig, so are we.
Sitting at 24 fan happiness, and he's still in the high yellow. So I mean, it looks like we should be okay. Like, hopefully.
I think we'll probably scrape through into as long as we make it to the off season, we should be okay.
Brian Label in the chat asks, "Hey, wondering, did you guys ever play hockey board games as kids, like dice games? Just wondering if you got any inspiration from those old games."
Yep, first one I played was Stratomatic, which is
Old.
only bears a really vague resemblance to hockey. The card game. I know some people like it, but I just didn't really feel like hockey to me. And I also played, still got it, I think, sitting around in a box somewhere. Something called it was called the World's Greatest Hockey Game. I bought it out of a mail order ad in the Hockey News, and that was actually pretty good. And had I think it was a father and son team. I think they were in Chicago that made it, and they would put out regular roster updates. They'd send you this little mimeographed, not even photocopied sheet of new ratings for your players and include a bunch of blank cards for it. So it was pretty cool. It was, you know, the kind of update you'd only see in computer games, in more recent years, but they were doing it with a board game back in the early 80s.
My answer to this is no. Short answer is I'm we've talked about it. I'm a little bit younger than Jeff, and it's just not something that ever existed in my
Yeah, I don't
world.
think there's a whole lot around. I mean, well, Stratomatic's still going,
Oh yeah.
and APBA has had their hockey game. I used to play the computer version of that. I don't think I ever, no, I never played the board game.
I just I grew up at the time when playing with I hope he finally gets a win. Huzzah.
He's had a couple.
Oh man, we lost Roman Yossi with a bruised shoulder. Ugh.
Ouch.
I grew up at the time when started playing hockey games on my PC and back on the NES and of course playing on I still have my table hockey game. Spent many
The
hours.
rod and
Yeah.
you
Yeah, I
play
have
with
one.
up and down the slots. Oh yeah,
I still have like
classics.
mine's an all plastic one just because of the time. And ooh, Adam Beckman got hurt, one of our prospects. Grade 2 concussion. Ooh, that's the end of his year. 46 points in
Okay,
39
that's good.
games. Well, hopefully he gets healthy. Um, yeah, I have one that has like I have 6 or 7 teams with it and played it a ton. Yeah, Blades of Steel, of course, played that. To me, the game that I will always stand out is I remember seeing. I mean, again, all those games. I always really enjoyed the Taito hockey game, which the name is escaping me. At the Hit the Ice was the name of it. Which, Jeff, if you never played it, I'm sure it's a game that would just be right up your alley. And
Don't think I have, no.
but well, it's a 2-on-2 game based on like 1970s hockey, and
Where they played 2-on-2 in the 70s,
two
apparently.
on two with a goalie. Yeah, but so Taito, which is a Japanese company. Um, sorry, I just got to get this done before as I'm losing thought. So, okay, then Yossi's gonna get replaced with Brad Hunt. Come in, switch this. So the game was basically made to like just beat up the guys completely, and it wasn't licensed or anything else, but it was just a dumb fun game to play for hours upon
Yeah,
hours.
I had a similar one like that. I think it was 2-on-2 or 3-on-3. If it was for the Commodore 64, actually, like way back in I think I bought it in '87 or '88.
All right, we win
And
again.
same type of idea, really simplistic and
Yeah, so it was a amount of fun, but I said the hockey game that really stands out to me was the first time I ever saw NHL '97 on PC, and that was the first 3D game, 3D hockey game I had ever seen, and that just absolutely
yep, I
blew
had
my
that one, I
mind.
think.
And
Yep.
what I met, as good as that game was, as fun as that game was, I'll never forget just how clippy it was because it was the early days of 3D and seeing like a guy go flying through the boards and end up like outside of the arena and, and then come skating back through the glass and just kind of laughing the whole time as it was going on. Different times. Oh, okay. 4-3 loss. Darn. Guru says, I didn't even know hockey existed until I played EA Hockey on the Mega Drive when I was 6.
Yeah, I think that those games brought a lot of people into hockey.
Oh, NHL 94, 93, 94, 95 were huge. And, but I said, like, it continued on. And I mean, it's video games were how I learned lots about football, too, for instance. And hockey got me knowing more about other players on other teams than the ones I just followed. And it was at that time kind of when I started doing some fantasy drafts at a time when
Yeah,
guys are doing that by hand
and
in,
the
in
other
the
way of getting
paper.
to learn about players in other teams, drafts and pools.
Well, yeah, I used to way back. Used to have a draft that again one guy just kept track of it all through the newspaper, and it was you picked one guy from every team, and so it was a random out of the hat who picked first off any given team, and we get a shutout 1-0 Holtby. All right.
Okay, so is Holtby finally? That's his first shot of the season. Dubnik's had a couple.
But I said I remember the one year I was doing a draft with there's 15 people and I was doing it with 3 of my friends because we were younger than pretty much everybody else. And the rules were, one goal was 1 point, one assist was 1 point, but a goalie win was worth nothing. But if a goalie got a shutout, you got 8 points. And so the one year we took, was it 3 or 4 goalies, including Martin Brodeur with the first pick on New Jersey, and people were so mad. Different times. He ended up having, that was a year he had like 12 shutouts too, so it was a smart pick.
Yeah, well, no, when I started playing in pools in the '80s, we still had the rule where you either didn't allow Gretzky to be drafted at all, or you had to separate his goals and assists. We didn't even do that. We didn't allow it all because even the assists alone were too far out in front of everybody else.
Oh yeah, just would agree on that. Different time. Different time. All right. Let's put Dubnik in for this one.
Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition got me into women's tennis.
To each their own, I guess. Overtime loss versus Edmonton.
Okay. So how many points back are we now?
Of what? In our division, we're at 46. We're 21, 31, and 4. And we've actually surpassed Chicago by 1 point.
Points in this.
We've passed Chicago and passed the Leafs for the moment. So they are one game behind us. But
yeah, actually, I don't think we're in any danger at all of getting fired this year.
Roman Josi still isn't
kind of
healthy.
Screwing up our lottery pick territory.
Okay, Eriksson Ek is down to 59%, so we're going to have to watch that. See if he improves over the next day. Oh, the one year in the draft, I said we took Brodeur. I remember we took Brodeur, we took Chris Osgood. So this would have been about 98. So Brodeur, Chris Osgood, and Dominic Hasek. And I think we took somebody else too. Maybe Urbe? Could have been Urbe. Oh, there's an interesting trade. Winnipeg trades Nick Ehlers for John Klingberg. It's a pretty even deal, one for one. Okay, Eriksson X up to 73%.
Well, were they?
Yeah, no, they're doing fine. Well, they're well above, and they're the defending Stanley Cup champions. We'll let Hopi go against the Islanders, and he wins again. All right. 5-3. Jeff Petrie picks up another assist. Petrie playing top pairing minutes has actually been pretty good for us. Maybe we should be leaving him on the top pairing. And move Dougie Hamilton. How about we try Matt Dumba? Move Matt Dumba down. Play him with Roman Josi. Yossi's still hurt, but that's maybe something we're going to have to consider. Because it seems to be paying off whenever Petrie's up on the top pairing. $48 points. Which I believe, was it last year we got 50 points with this team?
Checking. Last year was, exactly 50.
That's what I thought. So we are 4 points off. Which is, and Seth Jones is gone for 4 months.
Maybe we turned the corner.
Fractured elbow. Ouch. Game versus Vancouver. We'll put the Dubes back in. And he wins 4-1 over Vancouver. Kasperi
capping up on Backstrom on our all-time to be the all-time win leader for the Wild.
Kapanen gets a hat trick. Peterson chips in 1-2. All right. I guess, Jeff, too, if you're watching the stream and you haven't picked up Franchise Hockey Manager 6, what should you take advantage of right now?
We've still got the All-Star Game sale going for another, it ends on Monday, Tuesday?
February 2nd, I believe.
2nd or 3rd? 2nd, so that's Monday, I think. But yeah, 50% off. Want to pick up the game and haven't already? Getting a lot of new people playing it these last couple of weeks, and before that, the Christmas sale. So
yeah, so don't miss your
some pretty good numbers online.
Yeah, don't miss out. $19.99 USD. We actually have a 3-point lead over Chicago now. And we're only 7 points away from catching the next guys ahead of us.
How far out are we from a wild card?
I'm going to imagine quite a ways, but I'll look here in a minute. Yossi is now back.
Yeah, I'm just looking at when we started this. The last wild card spot was at 48 points, and we're just hitting that now.
Okay. We're at 50 points, but so Roman Yossi. Yeah. I'll put this back. So Roman Yossi is in. All right. We're going to switch Roman Yossi with Jeff Petrie. Tyson Berry and Matt Dumba. Berry can play the left side a little bit. Dumba can play either side. I think we're going to try this. We're going to try moving Matt Dumba down and putting Petrie up on the top pairing.
And I'm on the left side for the second pair.
Yeah. Okay, so Petrie wants $2.9 million for 2 years. So he wants less money, but a 2-year deal.
Yeah, well, he's 33. I mean, that kind of makes sense to me, I think.
I don't hate that deal, and he gives us that defensive defenseman. He's not asking.
If we do wind up moving Spurgeon, we're going to need the depth, so I think that's fine. I'd do it.
Yeah, he's not asking for a no trade either, so that appeals to me.
No, definitely.
Yeah, so we're gonna make that offer, and that gives our younger guys a little bit more time to develop too, which I also like. Oh, I forgot to look. Okay, I'll look after today. Okay, so contract signed. Awesome. Going to standings. Looking at the conference. Yeah, we're a ways back here. We need to gain 20 points, 21 points. So we're probably not making the playoffs. But if we can stay competitive, that's more important.
As long as we don't get fired and just don't mess up our lottery pick too badly.
Look at this. We're 17-10-4 at home and 16-21-0 on the road. So we're really good at home, but we are awful on the road. The trade deadline is nearing. Winnipeg continues to make more moves, sending Luke Green to Washington for Garnet Hathaway. Looking at our upcoming free agents, Donato isn't really doing much anyways, so he's not a loss. Eriksson Ek has been disappointing defensively. Okay, Sokolov is riding the bench, but what does he want? He wants basically a minimum deal. Can we offer him a two-way deal, though? You'll probably be upset at this, but let's offer him $100,000 to be in the minors and see what he says. No, he's okay with that. All right. Foligno's gone for sure because he's playing terrible.
In fact, I was wondering maybe we should even think about sending him down to the AHL and call up one of the younger guys and get him some time, like with Nia.
Well, again, we got Sokolov who's riding the bench anyways. We could put him in first. Jonas Brodin is hurt too. His deal's coming off the books. How much longer he's at? Yeah, he's gone. PCL tear. Dubnik's not getting re-signed. Hunt's not getting re-signed. Donato's not doing too. What does Donato want? He wants just over a qualifying offer for 3 years. 2.2 2.29 million. Qualifying offer is 2.15. There's no really reason not to give into that. Eriksson Ek, though, he wants just above a qualifying offer. But he's playing terrible anyways, so let's put him on the trade block.
Yeah,
He's been a defensive.
he's only 23. He's still got a little room to grow, though, or Donato is kind of not going to get too much better, I think, at this point.
Well, he's 20. They're both 24. So we'll put him on the block, see what happens here in the next little bit.
Yeah, Donato's got a birthday in a month or two, I think, though, so he'll be 25. So he's a year older.
And hope he picks up the win versus the Sharks 6-3. Kapanen scores again. We're going to have some young guys coming too. Our depth chart is starting to improve. Although those draft picks are starting to fire. And so just taking a quick look, when I talk about that, I mean guys like Matthew Boldy's going to be ready to come up. 31 points in 41 games. Dawson Mercer is what? He's got 47 points in 37 games. Philip Johansson, however you want to say that. He's improving in the SHL. Adam Beckman looks like he's going to be a player in forward, 1.5 stars. Parsons ready to come up now. He's at 2 stars. Hunter Jones is coming. Benoit Olivier Grew. That was a guy we got in a trade, was he not? Benoit Olivier Grew. We got him for...
No, I think we...
Yeah, we did. We got him for Anaheim. We traded away Kevin Fiala for him.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, so there's another guy who's going to be pushing...
For
He's doing what with the Wild? 26 points in 52 games. That's not bad. Capo Kakinen's coming. I mean, we have some forwards coming now. That's the big news.
Yeah.
Now we need those defensemen kind of coming.
Particularly wingers we need.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Boldy can play on the wing, as can Dawson Mercer. So even though they're not... Nia, yeah. So we have some spots coming up. P-Wag asks, if a player gets seriously hurt in a long contract and can never play again, how does the game handle it?
Well, mostly, I mean, if he's got a permanent injury, the AI will not assign very much value to him. So he's really only a value if you as a throw-in a trade to change the cap situation.
Okay, we actually got an offer to get rid of Jared Spurgeon.
And what are they offering?
Not much. Reese Johnson from Chicago. 1-star talent, 1.5-star potential. Right winger. Playing in the ECHL with the Indy
so
Fuel.
that tells you where his value is right now with that contract. But you could try changing that around a little bit and offer to retain some salary and see if the Hawks want him badly enough to give you somebody decent and ideally cheaper.
We can actually only retain up to 25% of Spurgeon's salary, apparently. So let's go for their... Try and throw in. They cannot add this much salary, it says. All right. Do the Blackhawks have anybody they're trying to get rid of? Brandon Hagel. I got a lot of guys on 2-year deals here.
Trying to get rid of Calvin DeHaan in the game I'm looking at, although we may not want him.
I tried grabbing Brendan Smith, but he won't waive his no trade clause. Calvin DeHaan is not being offered in this game. Okay, Mackenzie Entwistle. They're not going to move him. Chicago can't add. Yeah, so they still won't offer us 2 weeks, so they won't do that deal. So you might have just cost us a Jared Spurgeon move.
Well, we weren't going to get anything for him anyhow.
All right, unless we try like
I
a.
think that's a good time to get other offers closer to the deadline.
Okay, if I change to a 5th round pick, they go, well, that's actually interesting. 6th round pick? All right, guess we're leaving it behind, and we have blown up that offer. Just remember this, Jeff. Oh no, both of our goalies got slightly more cold. But we pick up a win versus Vegas. Wow, moving Petrie up has apparently made a difference. And oh good, we just lost Elias Pettersson for 3 weeks. Of course we did.
So yeah, I guess Eriksson Ek is going to get some playing.
Or we put Sokolov in center. Okay, I gotta think here for a second. Okay, so Peterson is replaced by Lafreniere. Peterson is replaced by Eriksson Ek. Peterson is replaced by Donato. Peterson is replaced by Sokolov. And we move Peterson to the injured list. Thanks for coming out, P-Wog. Hughes did a spinorama goal. Dubnyk is actually leading the league in save percentage and is number 2 in goals against.
Oh yeah, he's getting, yeah, it looks like he has got enough games to qualify. So yeah, he's playing for a new contract.
That's fine. Somebody else can pay him $6 million. Not going to be us. And all right. Well, let's get the trade deadline done and we'll figure out where to go from there. Actually, looking about what might happen is I might actually just kind of sim out to the end of the year because it's not like there's going to be too many exciting things happen
After the trade deadline?
after the trade deadline. And hope he picks up another shutout. All right. Hope he's finally adjusting, apparently. So maybe if that happens, I will kind of sim it out and just see what happens and kind of move us towards June, and we can see if we get to the draft and what happens there, or if we get to draft or not. Okay, so it is in fact the trade deadline, and Vancouver has a trade proposal for us. And that proposal is they are offering us 21-year-old Jack Rathbone for Matt Dumba. Rathbone is a 1-star talent, 3-star potential. So I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
And we're going to reject that trade.
Be nice to have in a couple of years, but not at this point.
Yeah, Joel Edmondson. Just shop him really quick. I don't think we're going to get any offers, but if we do, that'd be nice. Oh, apparently we do get a bunch of offers for Joel Edmondson. All right. Montreal offers a 6th-round pick. Okay. Toronto offers a guy I've never heard of. No. Nope.
They're going to get mostly 6th-rounders.
Chicago offers a 6th-round pick. You know, that's not bad. That 6th-rounder could help us move up. 6th-rounder from Dallas. And keep in mind, we're also paying him like $4.5 million, so dropping him would actually be impressive. Okay, Calgary offers a 6th-round pick. Islanders offer a 6th-round pick. Devils offer a 6th-round pick. Reject. Washington, reject. Edmonton. Okay, Edmonton's actually a possibility. Rejecting that. Rejecting San Jose. Rejecting Tampa Bay. Gabriel Dumont. No. Florida offers 31-year-old Tommy Cross. No. Jared Tenorti. No. Winnipeg offers a 6th-round pick. No, they're too good. No. Vegas offers us... Oh, Jack Johnson. That's exactly who we want. No. Okay, so we have Edmonton at 59 points. You're going to reject the Islanders because they're at 65. Chicago's at 48. Montreal's at 69. So I think we take Chicago's pick, right?
Yeah. Yep.
It's only a 6th-rounder, but hey, that might give us some ammunition to get back into the 1st round. Oh, no, what are you doing?
What? What'd you do?
I clicked reject trade.
Nice.
I rejected all the
Not taking
trades.
that one.
All right, so let's just try and manually do that and see if I can do that. Because apparently I don't know how to click buttons. Okay, they offered a 6th-round pick. And they will do it anyway, so we got lucky there. All right. That was a foolish thing to almost miss out on. All right, is there anybody else we can dump? Looking at our upcoming free agents. Okay, Brad Hunt we don't want. He's 1.5 stars anyways. Let's shop him. Probably not going to get a huge amount. But, okay, we got some more 6th-round picks again.
Yeah, we just pile up a few of those and then maybe move them on draft day.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, right? The more picks we stock, the better we can. It looks like we're going to send him to Toronto. Toronto's sucking anyways, so. This will mean we'll need to call up somebody or sign somebody to play defense, though. But that's tomorrow's problem. So let's complete that trade. And that gives us 2 6-round picks for guys we had no intention of re-signing. Carson Soucy, another defenseman, 6'5". We're not going to play him. We're not going to sign him. But maybe he's the guy who ends up coming up to be that new 7th defenseman for now. Who will be that new 7th defenseman? I guess we got Noel Juleson we can call up. All right, so we shouldn't get rid of one of those guys. Let's call up Soucy anyways, so he's up with us. Even though we don't want him. And Luke Johnson, guy I do not care about. Let's shop him, see if there's absolutely any interest. And we got 4 offers for him. And the offers are a 7th round draft pick, Jordy Ben on defense, and Emil and Jack Johnson. Wow, Vegas is trying to get Jack Johnson out of here. So let's take that 7th rounder from Chicago, because why not? Yep. And pick up 3 draft picks to go in. So we don't have a first. Oh wait, we do have a first rounder this year.
First rounder this year.
Yes.
Yeah. It's next year and the year after that we lost.
Right. That was smart. And so now we can actually kind of look at maybe even trading back. Should we try and trade for a first round pick? Who's doing really well this year? San Jose is doing really well. Let's see if we can just talk them out of their first round pick for next year. Trade. We want to trade. And let's ask. Nope, that's not right. First round pick in 2022. We're going to offer them a 4th rounder, a 6th rounder, and let's offer them. Should we offer them a 3rd rounder for 2022? That's probably a good idea. This offer is far too weak. Do we got a prospect we can throw in? Not really. Who's this guy? Sam Hittengas. Oh, now I think they will probably accept that offer. Offer's too weak. Okay, so let's offer a 4th rounder. What? Our offer is too weak. Are you serious? You get the rights to somebody, 2 4ths and a 6th and a 3rd. All right, doesn't look like this is going to happen right now, so let's just hold off. Gudu's with the jokes. We'll come back to this at probably our next episode, which will likely, again, assuming we survive the season, is going to be towards the trade deadline, the draft and free agency, because honestly, we're surviving this season, but there's not going to be very much to show you in the last month. We can't make the playoffs. Yeah. We are way too far out. It's just not going to happen.
So hopefully don't get fired, but I think we're far enough up now that won't happen.
Yeah, that's kind of like the only big thing left. So, with that in mind, as I play, or just sim this game out, and we pick up another win versus New Jersey. Thank you very much for tuning in to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. All of our streams are archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments. You can also reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. On Twitter, we're at Franchise Hockey. We can also find a link to our official Discord. Or you, of course, can come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner, which brings you to our official forums, where you can come talk about Franchise Hockey Manager, Out of the Park Baseball, Perfect Team, or anything else you want to. With that being said, Jeff, the only thing I haven't mentioned, but we mentioned it already in the stream, is if you're watching this now, if you're watching it on YouTube later, you still might have a chance to pick up FHM 6 for the low price of $19.99 USD, as it is on sale until February 2nd. So there's a little bit of time left for you to get in on this deal. Jeff, did I miss anything else?
No, I think that was what I was going to mention. We're still working on the next update. We're going to have two more of those, I think. One, at least major updates, one now, and well, within the next week or two, I think, and then another one shortly after the trading deadline. So that'll be coming soon. Just finishing testing on that. And sale's still on, and that's pretty much it. And I guess we'll be back next week with my 1960s Canucks alternate history game.
Absolutely. So thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you all again next week.